Hola guys, my name is Karimash and welcome to my YouTube channel. First and foremost, I'd love to say thank you so much for the overwhelming support that I received in the first video. If you've not watched it, please be sure to go ahead and watch it. Thank you to my family and my friends for sharing, for liking, for commenting, for subscribing. So far we are at 80 subscribers and I'm sure by the time this video is going up, we're going to be around 150 subscribers. And so the road to 1,000 subscribers begins now. Woo! Because why not? Why not? There is nothing impossible with God. So thank you so much for subscribing. And if you've not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for?
What the hell are you waiting for?
Unangoja nini? ¿Qué estás esperando? You know, this is a channel full of love and we're just getting started, guys. So be sure to like, to share, and to subscribe this video. And so without further ado, let's get to the video of the day.
Be good to me.
So guys, on today's episode, I'm basically going to be sharing with you how I traveled from Kenya to Cuba, my first international flight. So the year was 2018 when I got a scholarship, or rather the official confirmation that, you know what, girl, you're going to Havana to pursue medicine. And I was so excited. I was so happy. I was like, ooh, finally, because the process had been a bit hectic and I had experienced a few hiccups here and there, but finally God did it. And so I was very happy. Honestly, I was very happy. And so that was around March when I got the official confirmation. And so immediately I got the official confirmation, days after I went to book my flight. I was going to travel with Turkish Airlines. And then from March all the way to April, all I was basically doing was just chilling with my friends, having like farewell parties with my friends, having farewell parties with my family, and it was an amazing time. Honestly, I was just doing nothing, catching up with people, just lots of nothing as I prepared, of course, to come to Cuba. And so I remember we had gotten in contact with one of the Kenyans who was already here in Cuba, and this guy was telling us that you have to carry, I don't know, dozens of body lotion, dozens of, let's say, what else, soap, dozens of shower gels, dozens of this, and like everything he was just telling us was carry a lot of things. And I remember I was like, why am I carrying a lot of things to go to Cuba? And this was my thought. I thought that I was going to Harvard University, Cuban branch. Honestly, that's what I thought. Remember, I was just 18 and I was naive. So don't blame me, guys. Don't blame me, guys. And also, all the photos that I had Googled and, researched on YouTube about Cuba, all the photos were just showing that Cuba is a land full of milk and honey. So I could not join the dots as to why this guy is telling us to carry a lot of things, and yet I am going to Harvard. I mean, duh. It's Harvard. Woo! Harvard has everything. Why do I have to carry soaps from Kenya? Why do I have to carry body lotions from Kenya and I can go and use the ones that are abroad? My guys, joke on me. Anyhow, nonetheless, I just packed. I went and bought, I didn't pack. I went ahead and bought everything else that I was supposed to buy. I went and bought. For my Kenyans, I went to Kamkunji and I bought stuff in dozens. And then later on, I went to Isli to buy the huge suitcases. So on the day of traveling now, my dad, who is one of the best people to help you pack stuff, my dad was packing my stuff. And remember, I had a huge suitcase. So he was fitting in everything that I had bought. Everything. I'm telling you guys, that suitcase was so packed and very heavy that when I was traveling and we were trying to put it inside the car, my dad needed help to actually carry it. Imagine. So the ticket, basically, let me take you back a bit. When I booked my flight, it's always recommended for you to read all the instructions, or rather get clear instructions of the number of suitcases you're supposed to carry and all those details. So the Turkish Airlines permits you to have 23 kilograms of luggage, like two suitcases, each of 23 kilograms, a backpack, and a carry-on. So when my dad was packing, I was like, Dad, are you sure this suitcase that you're packing and how huge it is, are you sure it's not more than 23 kilograms? Because I had two suitcases, two huge suitcases. And my dad was like, no, it's not more than 23 kilograms. How little can 23 kilograms be? Plus, you're a student, they're going to allow you to pass. By passing, like, go through in for the checkpoint. Like, they won't care if it's if it weighs 100 kilograms. I mean, you're a student, that's what we thought. So my flight was scheduled for 1 a.m. that night. And I remember we're just chilling with my family all through from like 6, and we're just talking and just relaxing inside the house and doing a lot of nothing, with the reality just soaking in that finally our baby girl is about to leave the country. And so around 9 p.m., after prayers and well wishes, we left the house, because remember, you're supposed to check into the airport, or check into your flight, or rather be at the airport 3 hours earlier, so that you can check in and just be there on time basically, but 3 hours is recommended. So my flight is at 1 a.m. and by around 8:30 we're leaving the house. It takes around 30 minutes to get to the beautiful Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. So by 9 we're basically at the airport chilling. Chilling. We had like 2 hours to just chill because I had to start checking in around 11. But guys, we were there talking and talking and talking and walking around the airport. Because for some of my family members it was the first time being at the airport, so yeah, definitely they have to enjoy. So we were just walking and touring the airport, taking pictures, until we all forgot that I was supposed to start checking in at 11. So guess what, I started checking in around 12. And remember, it's a queue. So 12, I'm still at the queue. My flight is at 1, so I'm just there. 12, we're just relaxing. I'm just at the queue, and as the queue is moving, my parents are helping me push the trolleys also, until it got to a point where it's like, if you're not the traveler, you can't pass. And I remember my brother was now crying, because this is it, guys. By the way, this is it. So my brother was crying, and I remember hugging each and every person from my family. And my mom was really trying to be so strong. She's very emotional. So she was just like, "Are you okay?" And then when she feels like she's about to cry, she's like, "Just go. Just go." Yeah. My brother was crying, and it was such a sad moment at that point, because this could be the last time I'm basically seeing my family. This could be the last time until 7 years. Can you imagine? Oh my. Oh my gosh, I need tissue. Oh, 7 years, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Anyhow, your girl here was just strong. I was like, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so, guys, I got in finally. And I remember when I took that suitcase with the help of the guy whom we were traveling with, and we lifted it up and we put it on the weighing scale. Guys, remember, I told you that suitcase was too heavy. That suitcase was too heavy. Too heavy. When we put it on the weighing scale or the weighing machine, it was 52 kilograms, guys. 52 kilograms. And the other suitcase, because there are two suitcases, and the other suitcase weighed around 46 kilograms. So you can imagine, it's around 12:30 already in the night. The flight is at 1 a.m. and I am here. I have to unpack 52 kilograms, from 52 to 23 kilograms. By then, there's no mom, there's no dad, there's no, I don't know, brother or sister. It's just you alone. I remember those ladies from Turkish Airlines who are at the counter just looked at me and they were just like, oh my girl, we're so sorry, but you can't go with the 52-kilogram suitcase. You have to offload or unpack until we get to 23 kilograms. Guys, do you know I have 30 minutes? 30 minutes to get to embark on the plane, and I'm still here. And it's not like I'm moving, I have to unpack. So they call a guard, and the guard gives them like a polythene bag or a plastic bag. I don't know how you want to call it. And my guys, let me tell you, the adrenaline in me was not allowing me to even think. I was just unpacking, and putting it in that polythene bag. I'm just unpacking. Then we put the suitcase again on the weighing scale. From 52, it's just 48. 48! After everything that I have unpacked, you want to tell me I've just unpacked from 52 to 48 kilograms? So they tell me, girl, you have to continue. There is no way we're going to let you in with your suitcase being 48 kilograms unless you pay, I don't know how many hundreds of dollars. Remember, guys, I'm alone. I was actually traveling. Back then, I actually think I only had $80 on me. $80 on me. Guys, my emotions, I just had started having a built up of emotions, and I was almost crying, but I'm like, no, you cannot cry, Karimash. You cannot cry. You're a strong girl. You can do this. So I opened the suitcase again. I started removing stuff until the ladies at the counter were like, let's just help you. So everyone is just there like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And they're trying to unload or unpack the suitcases together with me. And I just felt so helpless. I was like, oh God, where is my mom? Where is my dad to just help me do this? Because I felt like they could have known what to do or handle the situation better, or I don't know. I was just like, I need my mom. I need my mom. But I could not cry. I had to do what I had to do because now it's like 15 minutes that I have to embark on the plane. So finally, we weighed the suitcases, and they were like around, let's say, 25, 26 kilograms. But the lady at the counter was just like, you know what, it's fine, baby girl, it's fine. Just go ahead, just rush. So, rushing all the way, running. I'm telling you, you run. Ha! And the flight of stairs, I don't know, you have to get to a place for the security check where you have to remove your belt, remove your shoes, remove, I don't know, your socks, remove everything that's metallic. You've got a laptop, I've got a tablet, I've got a phone. You have to put each of them in different cases. Oh my gosh. Guys, it was hectic. It was really hectic for me. But finally, by the grace of God, we made it through. Like, as soon as we embarked on the plane, they closed the doors. It was I was almost missing my plane by a whisker, guys. So I called my mom when I was inside the plane and was like, hey mom, where are you guys? And she's like, we already left. As we already at almost getting home. And I'm like, no, please, you have to come back. And remember, I'm trying not to cry, but the way your voice is just like, please just come back, because I've been told that I have to remove some stuff, and so I offloaded some stuff and I unpacked them or offloaded, and then I left them downstairs. Please just go and get them. And so my mom is like, okay, we are going to turn around and just go and get the stuff for you. And they came back. We were still in the plane, just chilling, with the different instructions, and the air hostesses checking if the cabins or those overhead luggage things are closed. And then my mom finally called me and she was like, oh my, hi, you've left so many things. What's going on? What are you going to use in Cuba? And yet your senior told us that you need stuff there. And I was like, mom, honestly, I don't know what I'm going to use, but it's just fine. I'll just make it through. I'll make it through. There is no problem. I'll make it through. Guys, I didn't know how I was going to make it through. But remember, I also thought I was coming to Harvard, so I knew I was going to make it through. Oh my. So finally, the lights go off in the plane, and I was making like my final video call and just, this was it. This was it now. This was it. And guys, I was now so sad because remember, I had a built up of emotions from seeing my brother cry and my mom trying to be so strong for me. And I had a built up of emotions like, this is it. This is it. Like, it's just me alone now. It's just me alone in a foreign country. And so I was waiting for the plane to just take off for me to just cry. I was ready to cry, guys. I don't know if you've ever had to tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to cry today. Because at that point, I told myself I have to cry. Because my emotions were like here already. I just needed to just let them out. So, like, as soon as the plane started taking off, you know, and I could see the beautiful Nairobi city lights disappearing slowly by slowly as we got into the clouds, as we ascended into the clouds. Guys, I just covered my head with, they give us like some shawls or some like blankets there, like in the plane. So I just covered my head with that shawl or that blanket. And guys, I cried. Oh, I cried. Guys, I cried. I was like, my mom. I'm telling you, I cried for my mom. I cried for my dad. I cried for my brother. I cried for my sisters. I cried for my children and their children's children. I cried for my ancestors. I cried for everyone. I was just like, but also, I wanted to have that ugly cry, guys. I wanted to just be like, why me? Why? Why? Shush. Why? But then I could not do that because the plane is so silent. All you can hear just engines, just. And you want to tell me that you want to have the ugly cry? My friend, put yourself together. So I just covered myself and I just stifled the cry. I was just like, because I didn't even want the guy next to me to hear that I was crying. Guys, I cried. I cried. I cried for my people. I cried for my generation. I cried for my ancestors. I cried for the Mau Mau fighters. I cried, my guys. I cried for my own genealogy. And then now, after crying, that was like around 45 minutes of crying. Can you imagine? 45 minutes, you're just crying. You're just like, oh, my mom. I used to stop crying. And then now I'm looking out the window and all I can see is just clouds. And I'm like, what if I die? What if I die here and I've just seen my mom for the last time and she was almost crying because I'm leaving? And then I cover myself again. Then I stop. Then I sit again. I look at the clouds and I'm like, oh, my dad. Oh, I'm going to miss my dad so much. And then I, my dad. Then I stop. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to start a new life alone. Then I start crying again. That was me, literally. So for the next 6 hours, because from Nairobi to Istanbul, it's 6 hours. It's a 6 hour flight. The only thing I was doing was just crying, pausing, crying, contemplating about my life, crying, contemplating about my life, crying. Even when they were giving us food, I was just like, oh wow, this is really nice food. But I'm going to miss the mangoes in Kenya. Like, guys, I was very, very emotional, very emotional. Until now, finally, after the 6 hours of contemplating about my life and crying and just being there, just being vulnerable to myself, we finally got to Istanbul. And it was a beautiful ride, by the way. It was a beautiful plane ride. Besides my crying, it was a beautiful plane ride. And I really thank God for that. So we finally landed in Istanbul. And now We are in Istanbul. As soon as we disembarked on the plane,